Marty Sheargold's sexist comments about the Matildas speak to a much larger issue in women's sports and proves how they are treated differently to men's teams. The comedian and broadcaster, who has since mutually parted ways with Triple M, made several remarks about the international representative team on the radio station on Monday.
You know what they remind me of? You 10 girls. Now, I'm sorry to undermine the whole sport, but that's what I think of it.
So we're playing in the She Believes Cup.
Oh, she believes in what? It better be men! I'd rather hammer a nail through the head of my watch that.
There's certainly a lot to unpack here, and while it's sadly not surprising that such viewpoints still exist in 2025, comments like these contribute to a wider perception of females in sport as women first, athletes second. So let's unpack a few of these comments. Firstly, Sheargold's suggestion of a negative connotation with Year 10 girls is reductive and ridiculous, and such comments are often used to downplay the success of high-achieving women. And because women are held to higher and harsher standards because they apparently challenge the norm of men's sports, when they fall short, they're treated as such. The hosts proved this when they said the Matildas were experiencing a nightmare run in the She Believes Cup, when in reality, losing to two higher-ranked teams, Japan and the United States, of which they were close to a draw, is anything but. And either way, success does not determine the level of respect any sporting team deserves, regardless of gender. We have to ask ourselves, would it be called a nightmare run if the same results were made by the Socceroos? Now let's get a little more positive. The Matildas have done so much for Australian girls and women in sport, and they have the numbers to prove it. Their match against Denmark in the Women's World Cup in 2023 drew more than 3.6 million viewers, surpassing the men's NRL Grand Final, AFL Grand Final, and State of Origin. And it was the most watched TV event in 2023. And if this wasn't enough, the World Cup also injected approximately $1.32 billion into the Australian economy. The Matildas also became the first senior Australian soccer team to qualify for a World Cup semi-final, and the second of all host nations to finish in the top four. And let's not forget, the Matildas made a lasting impact on grassroots women's sports. Clubs across Australia saw a record influx of registrations in 2024, following the World Cup, with female registrations increasing by 18%, and women now totalling over a quarter of all New South Wales football participants. Following outrage from many organisations, including Football Australia, Marty Sheargold was forced to apologise in what many have deemed as weak and simply not enough, stating, "I can see why many have taken offence at my comments." And unfortunately, he's not alone, with one Twitter user who supported Sheargold posting, "No red-blooded males are going to watch the Women's Asian Cup." Now, comments like these suggest watching and appreciating women is somehow a threat to masculinity, and is definitely part of a bigger discussion of perceptions of male toughness in society. So whether or not Sheargold meant his apology or has reckoned with the effect of his words, the Matildas simply deserve respect as the athletes they are.